Okay, big welcome, you guys. My name is Denise Walsh, Black Diamond Leader here with It Works. Can you tell I have this logo as my backdrop? Very cool. Anyway, I'm excited to connect with you. Big congrats to all of you who earned a spot on this call because you had at least 400 in personal volume, which means your personal orders, your loyal customer orders. You want to say hi to the 400 Club? Brandon wants to say hi. You got to 400 with customer orders, with your own personal orders, or you promoted last month. And as you guys saw, we changed the graph in July. Our volume as a team and as a company was like exponentially higher than it was even in June and in past years, you know. So not only kudos to you, but to all of your new distributors who you helped pave the way by getting your fast starts, by helping them with their parties and messaging their hundreds list and things like that. So congratulations, it's working. All right, well, today we have a very special guest. Ambassador Diamond, Barb Hauser, is with us today. Barb, I'll unmute you in just a minute. She has been a part of this journey for the past, I'd say 4 to 5 years. She'll correct me if I'm wrong, but she has an amazing It Works story. Her journey with us has been life-changing for her and her family, and I'm really excited for you to learn from her. She came into this business knowing what she had her hands on because she had experienced previous companies. So she didn't come in and, like a lot of us, at least for me, I was like, toe in for a little bit. Let me see if this is what I really want to do or if I really think I could be good at it. She jumped in with both feet immediately and actually went diamond in 9 days. So if you search her on YouTube, you'll hear her diamond in 9 days stories, and just because she came on board knowing full blown what she had her hands on and deciding that she was going to run with it. So without further ado, Barb, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Yay! Thank you so much for being with us and being our guest speaker for today. I would love to start with just your story. Tell a little bit about what brought you to It Works and why you decided to join us.
For sure. Well, as Denise mentioned, it's been about 4.5 years now since I started my journey on April 21st of 2013, and it has been a crazy adventure for 4.5 years. And it's funny, I've been spending a lot of time reflecting and thinking back, and, it's funny to think just 5.5 years ago, our life was completely different. And the year before I joined It Works was a bit of a kind of tumultuous time in my life, I guess. I was a stressed out, broke, mom. My husband and I had 2 kids at the time, and we were struggling, after we had my second and I needed to go back to work. It was like, what are we going to do? How are we going to be able to do this? So I had started doing home daycare, and my history and background is as a teacher, as an early childhood educator. I ran a licensed daycare center for 2.5 years, and I worked as a teacher in Montessori for a few years as well. And so I thought, this is what I did. I went to school to learn how to work with kids so that I could provide that income, because as much as we wanted to have that one income family, it just seemed too good, too much for us, that we wouldn't be able to really afford to ever have that. And it seemed like a dream that was so far off in the distance at that point. So I started doing home daycare. I had 5 kids under the age of 5 in our 900 square foot semi, and was losing myself a little bit, I always say, being a mom is kind of a thankless job, and it's the same thing when you're doing daycare for somebody else's kids. And I had a husband who was OCD and came home to a house full of toys, and we were just not enjoying our life. And then life just really took another turn. My mom was diagnosed with cancer, and I just, I thought, what are we going to do? How am I ever going to have this time that I want to have for my family? With the income that we're bringing in. I'm not going to be able to afford, I couldn't afford the extra gas even to go and visit my mom. And I was very fortunate that growing up, my parents had been with Amway years ago. My mom had done Tupperware. So, I had grown up in that kind of family where doing direct sales was a viable option. It was a way to bring in income. And I'm so grateful for that, because I know a lot of us, grow up with that mentality that, nobody really does this and you don't really work from home and that sort of thing. And so when I started pursuing that and looking into direct sales, what I knew was what my mom had done. So I tried several opportunities over the course of a few years. And I don't know, can you, Denise, I'm just trying to mute my computer so that my notifications, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So anyways, I started, pursuing that. I tried a few different opportunities and found one that I thought was, a great opportunity. I felt like we made great commissions, and I thought that I had it made. I figured this was the best opportunity out there and I was going to make a go of it. But I have to admit that I was still quite naive. And although I worked my tail off, for me to be able to have that time freedom with my mom, I decided I needed to quit doing daycare. And in order for me to replace my income from doing daycare, I had to commit to work my business more than full time. And I was with a home party company at the time, and I had to do at least 20 parties a month just in order for us to make ends meet. So it was really tough. My husband would work all day. He'd come home. I'd go running out the door on the last minute, both of us battling traffic each way, me flying out to do a party, to get there, not even knowing what kind of sales I was going to make, sometimes driving, 3-4 hours to go and do a party and come home the same night. And I just felt like, that was my only option for us to make this work. And as hard as I was working, I still wasn't making enough income. And I had the opportunity presented to me to run a networking group. So I started doing that, hoping to bring in a little bit of extra income with it. And I finally started to open my eyes and look at all these other opportunities of all these women I was networking with and the businesses they had. And I started to realize that, I had just lumped everything in under this umbrella of direct sales. But really under that umbrella, there's two parts. There's home party and then there's multi-level. And I had been one of those people that was like, oh, those people with those multi-level marketing companies, they sign you up to an auto ship and, nobody wants that. And I had this really negative connotation about it, guys. So if you come from that background, I totally get it. And I just was like, I have no interest in your opportunities. I'm going to do what works for me. And finally, I started to realize that there was a huge difference if I could bring on a customer that would continue ordering and I had residual income coming in from residual sales, that really made a lot of sense. And I realized that when my mom, got sick, she was working 3 jobs and she couldn't work anymore. And so my parents almost lost their home. And I thought, what would happen to me if I couldn't work anymore, if I couldn't do 20 parties a month? We relied on that income to pay for our bills and pay for our mortgage. How would we survive? And so that's when I realized I really needed to find something that was the right vehicle for me. And fortunately, it was around the same time that It Works had come into my life. And I had spent a year saying no to it because I thought it wasn't that good opportunity. And
Barb, I have one question. Can you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I have muted you. So direct sales basically is you're like a retail store. So you go to a party, you set up shop, you've got things they can purchase retail off of you, and you earn the difference between wholesale and retail. Is that right?
Yeah.
And do you sign up customers? Do you sign up distributors? What's with that?
So I mean,
what's the difference?
I definitely, I had done well, so to speak, with, some of the other companies I had been with, because I did work my tail off and I got out there and was doing lots of parties, which was helping me meet lots of people, which resulted in customers. But a customer was the one-time customer. They could order from me today and someone else the next day and go to their neighbor's party and order the next day. So I was never guaranteed more income or more sales in the future, even if I did a kick-ass presentation for them,
So at the end of every month, it really went to zero. And
yes.
Then every month you only got paid on the work you did that month, essentially.
And I mean, the residual income on my team, which I did have a fairly large team, but it was 5% on my top level, 2% on my second level, and 1% on my third level if you had promoted up high enough to even get paid on that.
Okay.
So the residual income side of it just really wasn't there.
And then you also had to carry the inventory. So you had to purchase the products to then sell at the parties.
Yeah, and I mean, customers could order and we could get it shipped in directly to pass on to them. So it wasn't like I had to have a huge stock of product necessarily with that company that I had been with. But I found that I got paid a lot in free product. You know, I was one of the top consultants with the company, but I was earning $1,000 in free product every month, which then technically I wasn't supposed to sell because I wasn't paying for it. And, you know, it was just a bit of a mess in that respect. So I gave away a lot of free stuff, which helped me book parties and whatnot. And it looked like I had this thriving business, but in reality, I wasn't really making that much. And when my orders would come in, I would have to drive around to deliver them high, wide, and handsome all over the place. So my expenses were so much higher than I had ever realized. You know, when we'd sit down at the end of the year to do taxes, it was like, it looked like I made all this income, but really I didn't.
Okay, interesting.
So that was kind of, you know, what I had been going through, and realizing that if I didn't want to do those parties anymore so that I could have that time with my mom and my family, I really would have no income. And that kind of scared me because, like I said, we really relied on that income. And so, you know, when I finally came around to being open to learning more about It Works, I fell in love with our products. The greens really wowed me. I had kept saying, there's no way that a product like that wrap would ever actually work. You know, it's not real or safe or natural. And I was such a green personality that I was like, research, I'm going to prove that this product does not work. And when I was presented with the greens and I thought, okay, give me that ingredient list, I was blown away, guys. And that's when I was like, well, if there's something to the greens, maybe there's something to the wrap, maybe there's something to this company, maybe I should really check this out. And, you know, I knew people in my own life who had earned bonuses and who were making good income with this. And I thought, if they could do it, I could do it. And I just decided that, you know, my family needed this. And if this truly was this incredible opportunity and I'd been missing it and passing it up for a whole year, you know, I just needed to jump in and really give it a go before I could say it didn't work. And we had that $10,000 diamond bonus that was on the table. And that was something that I thought, I know people that have done this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. You know, I was still feeling a little bit of loyalty to my other company when I first decided, oh, okay, I'm going to start with It Works just so that I could earn the greens for my mom and my family. And very quickly I was like, you know what? You can't have your feet on both sides of the fence. You know, I thought if I'm going to say that I think that this works, I have to jump all in and prove to people that this works. And so that's what I did. You know, I joined on the 21st of April, and every single day until the end of the month, I did back-to-back appointments, phone calls, parties, one-on-ones, and I just tried to get in front of as many people as I could. And doing over 30 parties and presentations in 9 days is really what allowed me to meet enough people and share this with them that they decided to jump on board with me. And, you know, we know that this business is team building, but in the course of 9 days, I signed 18 of the 24 distributors who came into my chart because I got in front of probably 50 to 60 people. And that had given me enough people who were willing to give this a shot, because really, what did they have to lose? And, you know, I was just so excited about it. And I realized people were going to be skeptical. And the only thing that was going to override their skepticism was my confidence and my excitement. And that's why I had to say, you know what, I'm just going to let this other business go that people assumed was thriving for me. And I said, I'm going to let that go and just jump all into this because I know this is where it's at. And I've seen people do it, and I'm going to do it. I know you could do it. Are you going to come with me? And, you know, I was so fortunate that I had enough people in my life who thought I was a good business person and was willing to take a chance on me. And, you know, when they decided to jump in, I was like, okay, you know what? If we're really going to give this a go, we got to really give this a go. And I did have most of the distributors who joined with me got a booster pack. And that made a huge difference in us being able to go diamond in such a short period of time. And it also helped build the confidence of my new distributors, because now they were getting more product to try and use for themselves. They were developing their own story. They had lots of wraps that they didn't want to get stuck with. So they were going to get out there and, do their launch parties and wrap as many people as possible. So that's kind of what, what we did over the next 9 days, and then on into the next month, because guys, I was like ignorance on fire, right? I didn't know charting. I didn't know how this business really worked. I just thought, okay, well, let's go and let's get there. And it's funny because a lot of people think I was really red for me to go diamond in 9 days. And I was actually a very, very green personality, but I had a lot of yellow too. And the person that I joined this business with was going for a bonus at the time. And so the reason that I pushed to go diamond in 9 days was because her deadline for her bonus ended at the end of that month. As soon as I joined, I realized, diamond in 3 months was doable, but I didn't want her to miss out because I'd been turning her down for a year. So I worked my tail off. And I think that's important too, to share our goals with our team and to realize that, we don't have to do all the work for everybody. If we can inspire other people enough to catch the vision and to decide to go for it, that can be amazing in its own. And so, things happen very, very quickly. But when we got to the end of that month, I didn't know I needed 10,000 volume to maintain. There were so many things that I didn't understand. And that second month was where, the rubber really hit the road. I was on my own. I had to make a go of this with my team. And so I just started doing parties because that's what I knew. And I made every single distributor have at least 2 launch parties in their first 2 weeks. And I was partying back to back, that next month. And that really helped us boost our volume because I was afraid we weren't going to get there, and we far surpassed the goal. So just proves that anything is possible when you put your mind to it. I mean, each of you guys that are here on this call, you either promoted or you hit 400. And that means that you set a goal for yourself. And that's the only way that you got there, by being really clear about what you wanted and counting it down and being like, okay, 1 more customer to go, 1 more, 1 more skinny pack, 1 more, triple threat, 1 more fat fighters, whatever it took for you to reach that goal. And, you should be celebrating, because it's so important that you learn that first step of getting to 400, because that's what you want your new distributors to do. And for me, it happened so fast. I hadn't really done it before them. I was doing it beside them. And I love that in this business, it's a team building business. When I compared this to everything else that I knew, I felt like I just kept having these light bulb moments and these ahas, and just being floored by what It Works allows us to do. The fact that we're allowed, if you guys don't have any experience in any other type of direct sales, know that the ability that we have to move distributors is incredible. I was a high recruiter with my last business, but every single distributor who came in my business was direct to me. And that put a lot of responsibility on me. It was very time consuming because I was the only one that was there to help them. And I love that with this business, I get to bring in a new distributor, partner them up, not just with myself, but with another amazing leader, or maybe even a few amazing leaders on our team. And they get the benefit of working with all of us. And it really just reinforced that team feeling. And that's what I was going for. I'm not the type of person that likes to work alone. I don't like to be alone. I love collaborating with other people, linking arms with other people. And when I discovered that I could do that with this business, that we could help each other, that I was in business for myself, but not by myself, and that they would not be by themselves either. That was huge, because I had felt like people were not supported necessarily enough. I came from a company where we didn't have all the tools that we needed to go out there and rock this business. When I came along and I found our party pad and our product flyer and our Blitz card, I was like, whoa, this blows my mind. I'm being given everything that I need to be able to be successful with this and really take it to that next level. So I just started really embracing what I had my hands on, I think was the biggest thing.
Well, I did not ask you, or I did not warn you about this next question. So if you don't know the answer, that's okay. But I am curious, how long did it take you with It Works to meet or surpass your previous networking income?
I probably did that within 6 months. in terms of the residual. Now, I mean, I had been partying a lot. So, I mean, you guys know our income chart here. One thing that I didn't like was that with most direct sales company, you have no idea what it's going to take you to get to the top. And I remember that when my mom got sick, I wanted to desperately to be able to do something for her. And the company had come out with this cruise that we could earn, cruise and airfare. And so I worked my tail off in order to earn that. And it, got me on this ship with all these top earners. And I'm thinking they must be rolling in the dough, making incredible income. I knew people that were working so hard and had massive teams. And so I got to sit and pick some of their brains. And that's, I think, when I had my first red flag was talking to who I thought was the top earner. And she said that her biggest paycheck had been $6,000. And I thought, oh, that's what I'm working for, and my biggest paycheck with that company, residual paycheck, was $4,500. And, I made a lot of money on my party cash every month, but I had to be doing parties in order to bring that in. That wasn't there residually if I wasn't working. And that's what I didn't have the freedom to be able to do without. That was the income that we relied on to pay our bills. So, I joined, went diamond that first month. 4 months in, I went double diamond. And just beyond that, I guess I was bringing in, that average that we see there, around $5,000. And I was floored with that, but my husband had seen me go from having all this extra cash all the time to now, I'm bringing in the residual, but now I don't have all this cash all the time. And he really wasn't on board the first year of my business. But I had that big vision. I saw where it could take me. And I saw that this was something that, it's different. Direct sales, you can jump into a home party type business and you can go out and make a couple $100 in a month if you want from doing parties. But that's it. That's where the buck stops, and I knew that with this was the type of income that built slowly. And I thought, if I've built to 5,000 already, imagine where I can go. And so it was us getting to an event that really changed everything for us, us going to conference. And, you asked me what were some of the pros of It Works. And I thought, it's so the culture. When we got to conference and I saw that everybody was normal, down to earth, real people that were just like me. And I thought, these are people that are having fun with what they're doing. They're not old, fuddy-duddy ladies sitting around. These are actual really cool people that I would get to hang out with, in the lifetime of my business. And the culture of giving back, that's always been a big part of my heart, wanting to do that and never having the freedom financially or time-wise to be able to do that. And realizing that was something I could acquire. Being able to really partner with my team and us being able to move distributors and move customers and move orders and actually work to reach promotions. I remember I had worked for 6 months to get a promotion with one of my previous companies. And it was because every month, I had to have every single person on my team with a certain qualified amount. And I wasn't allowed to buy an order and move it to them, even if it was $10 that they needed. The company considered that fraud if I did that. And when I came here and I saw that It Works said, you know what, you're allowed to buy and move orders if you ever need to when you're going for big promotions and stuff like that, that blew me away, because I thought, I don't have to sit there and miss my promotion every month. They're putting the control in our hands because they want to see us be successful. They pour leadership development into us through our training academy, through, the support that we get where we're encouraged. Through, when you watch what Denise has done with Jack Canfield and some of the other great speakers that we can learn from. John Maxwell is someone who just fills my soul. And, I love that that's a part of this business. If you want to grow your business, you need to grow yourself. And with every other home party company I've been with, they never talked about personal growth. It was just go out there and sell, sell, sell. And if I, God forbid, I'm a lifer and, but if I ever was not a part of It Works, what I gained from It Works, regardless of the finances, has been incredible. The amount of personal growth that I've gone through, the amount of leadership growth I've gone through, the way it's affected the dynamics of my relationships, the way it's supported me in being able to go through, the grieving process of losing a parent and, major things in life. This business gives us so much more than just the finances, the friendships, the freedom, but also the personal growth, the being able to create success for yourself, being able to get recognized for the hard work you do. Like I said, as a mom, as a daycare teacher, that's not something that I got. And to know that we can achieve that through this business, we're just some of the things that were really, really cool.
So you 5 years ago, you were doing 20 parties a month, basically working for that direct sales cash. You were certainly bringing in income, but you knew the cap at that company was, it sounded like $5,000-$6,000 a month, which is good, which is really life changing for a lot of people. But if you stop doing the parties, you stop making money. And so the time freedom there is different. So, and you knew too with our income chart that $6,000 a month is not the cap here. You can blow through that cap ceiling. And so show people the possibility of what's possible with our income chart. And that's why we have that. So people can see, all right, what income are you looking to make? And here's exactly how to do it. Because some people get started for an extra $500 a month. Some people get started for that extra $5,000 a month. And some people see $16,000 a month or $30,000 a month and they go, that's possible. New brain cell, let's go. And it really helps to create and cast that vision for those who are ready for it. So you saw the vision, but Matt was not quite onto it. Like he had seen you work super hard over years with your everything you do. You work really hard. That's just who you are. But you got him to an event, and he could see the difference between our culture, our comp plan, our vision, the heart and soul of the company, and he rallied with you. So 5 years later, you have 2 more kids. You have a stay-at-home dad, husband who's partnering you with this business. Tell us what life is like now.
Oh, life is completely different. We went from being broke beyond belief, returning things and selling things and, living that stress to moment life, and went from, our home that was 900 square feet. We graduated to a bigger home, and now we've moved into, the perfect home for our family. We've had 2 babies, like I said, and I didn't have to take time off. I didn't have to go without a paycheck when I had those babies and I needed to be home with them. My mom, this year was a tough year. We lost my mom 2 months ago. And so this year, her being back in treatment and everything else, I was able to drop everything and be there every week to take her to her appointments and to take her for her treatments and to make memories. And knowing that I didn't have to leave my kids with a babysitter. I didn't have to make other arrangements because we retired Matt just 1 year after starting this business. And he was one of those guys too that was like, I will never quit my job. So if you've got one of those, don't worry, because they do change over time. And when he came around, after that conference, he was like pushing me. I shared that on our Tuesday night call that like we came home from conference and he had even caught a bigger vision than I did and was, pushing me to stretch my goals and to dream bigger. And, we had never done that. So it really added a new dynamic to our relationship. We've been able to pay off a lot of debt. We've been able to, give back. Since I've joined the business, we've gone out and like done like a Secret Santa and just bought gifts for people that we and dropped them off on New Year's Eve, and sponsored children in third world countries, which was always a dream of mine. And just things that so that she didn't have to be stressed out because she couldn't work her 3 jobs. And this business has allowed us to support our family and to help with a lot of things that we just never would have been able to. And that was my dream since I started. And this year at conference, when Mark talked about being legendary and said, being legendary is being able to pay off your mom's debt, it was like, this company is so my heart, is so, got my purpose and my mission, wrapped right up into it. And to know that there's so many other people out there who have sick parents or struggling friends or family, and even people on our team that we've been able to help who've been going through some really tough times, I never would have the opportunity to even know them without this business, but definitely not to be able to help them in the ways that we have. And, I think that this, my faith is a really important thing to me. And God always talks about, being his hands and feet out there in the world. And I truly feel like It Works is doing that, and they have allowed us to become a part of those hands and feet, that we get to make a difference in our immediate life, in our family, in our friendships, in our team, in our community, and in the world as a whole. So it's just such a great calling to be a part of. I'm so grateful that I found this vehicle. I did not know that something else like this was out there. And there's a lot of people who are closed-minded, who might, turn you down or say no. Like, guys, I was downright mean. Like, I had tried the products, I had been a customer, and I just didn't understand it. And I was one of those people that bashed this. So to tell you that you can have someone who right now may be bashing you and saying that this is not for them, when that light bulb moment happens, when that transition in their life happens where their needs change, you need to just stay present and be a part of people's lives, build friendships with them, because when they're ready, it's crazy to see what could happen in 9 days or, 2 days if someone really puts their mind to it. And that's my mission now. I'm out there on the hunt for the next person who is going to discover their why and realize that this can be that vehicle for them.
Awesome. And I love what you shared. You realized that you can fulfill your purpose here within this business. And I think of even just our Tuesday night call, and you guys listening today, think about why you're here. I don't think anything is an accident. If you signed up for $10, like, we've been praying for rock stars to join our team, and all of a sudden a slew of rock stars joined in. And we just are constantly praying over those that are on our team and those that are coming into our organization. And so I just want you to know that it's not an accident. You are here for a reason, and I know that your purpose can be fulfilled within this business or because of this business. And once you have that heart connection, like, nothing will stop you, because you know that this is where you're supposed to be. So, Barb, I'd love for you to share either just like a quick tip, or so let's do both. One quick tip, and then where do you see your team in the next 5 years?
All right. Well, my best tip I can tell you is always be prepared and ask everyone. Make an ask out of yourself is the line that I use, because it's people out there need this. A lot of them don't even know that we exist yet. So you have to ask, you have to put yourself out there. You don't know what people are going through behind closed doors. A lot of people didn't know that I had a parent with cancer. A lot of people didn't know that we were not in a good financial situation. So you can't judge a book by its cover. And I've learned not to prejudge anyone, but just to always be prepared to offer this opportunity to everyone that I come in contact with. And I don't allow myself to make excuses. So I'm always, my primary way of building my business is face-to-face. So when I am out, you'll see me head to toe in my It Works gear, I carry like a Blitz pack with me, so that I've got like all the tools that I need. Last week I met a guy at a gas station and was totally like intimidated to talk to him, but we've got this new Mandair out there. And before I had walked into the gas station, I was like, oh, I don't have a Blitz card. Oh, I won't need one. I'm going to get one anyways, and took that in with me, blitzed the guy. He ended up buying a wrap from me right there on the spot. We went out and stood under the gas bar by my car, and I did a full party pad presentation with this guy, walked through the product flyer, because I was prepared, because I had everything there at my disposal, so that it didn't just get cut off and whatever, move on. I'm always looking for opportunities to expand that blitz into building a relationship with somebody and taking it to that next level. So that's, I guess, my biggest tip. Where I know my team is headed, oh gosh, I'm telling you, we are considered international because I'm here in Canada. And so I am excited because we don't have an international Black Diamond yet. And, Denise is a huge inspiration and mentor for me. And I would love to be the first Black Diamond internationally, would be my goal. Black Diamond in Canada. I would love that. And I just can't wait, because I know what that means is that my team is coming with me. I have people on my team that are like blowing out of the water right now. And it's amazing to watch that happen, and to know that the leadership that we have, you know, they're developing themselves through this journey, to watch how far people have come, and to know that their journey's not over yet. You know, I believe that constant learners are constant earners. And so I will always be open to learning anything that I can forever. And I've seen that in a lot of my leaders. And I know that they're going to continue to grow their incomes and change more lives. And, you know, I like to talk about that ripple effect, because that's what just overwhelms me, is thinking that, like, me taking that leap of faith and jumping into the ocean of the unknown, starting this business, you know, the ripples that have gone out around me, and then each of the ripples that have gone out around all those people that have been impacted. You know, John Maxwell says the average person impacts 10,000 people in your lifetime. If you think about all the people that you come in face-to-face contact with, or through social media, especially now that's been amplified a lot more. But imagine what this business does for you and how many people it brings into your path. So it's super exciting to think that, you know, I started 5 years ago, and now there's like 12,000 people on our team, and like probably like 100,000 customers, you know, and all of those people, not as a result of me personally, but maybe it wouldn't have happened when it did if I hadn't jumped when I did. And you guys are sitting here with this opportunity in your hands, and it's hard. Sometimes we just don't know what we have our hands on, and it gets tough. And it's, you know, we all have those days, even at Black Diamond and Ambassador and every other rank on the page. You know, we all have moments that are tough where you just want to take a break, take a day off, right? But you need to stop and remember your why. Remember that this company can allow you to become debt-free. Where else in life can you do that? You know, to become a millionaire in a few years because of this opportunity, when most people don't make $1 million in their lifetime. You know, I'm excited to have people join the Millionaires Club from my team. That gets me just so excited. And to watch all the amount of ambassadors that are going to pop on our team, and all of the diamonds and double diamonds and triple diamonds and every other rank that is going to come along with that. And that means lives being changed. So that's what I'm excited for.
Absolutely. As they say, if you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. And so when your eyes are focused on your team and helping them chart and helping them experience success and helping them learn through this process, like, Black Diamond is in the bag. It just is, because it will happen on it naturally as you're investing and helping as many people rise into leadership as possible. This is a team sport for sure. So thank you, Barb. If you guys don't follow her on Facebook, she is wrapping the map, like literally. I never know where in the world Barb Hauser is, because she's off doing parties. She's doing leadership retreats. She's taking her team out. She loves her team so much and pours into them consistently. So thank you so much, Barb, for sharing your wisdom, your confidence. Borrow her confidence. If you've done other companies before, you have experience, or if you don't, like me, right? I didn't, but she knows. She's been on the other side, and she knows really the strengths and benefits of why this business is so awesome. So borrow her confidence, borrow my confidence, and get connected to your why, and then just don't stop asking. That's our job. Honestly, just to ask, are you supposed to be on my team? Are you supposed to be on my team? Are you supposed to be on my team? Because some people are going to be like, no, you're a weirdo. And some people are going to say, yes, I've been praying for something. And you just never know who that is going to be. So thank you so much, Barb, for hanging out with us. I can't wait to see you next week at our Willow Creek Leadership Retreat that we're doing here in Grand Rapids. So if you're within driving distance and you want to come spend some time with us, you are more than welcome to. It's open to all. And this is just one of the fun things that we get to do because of this business. So thank you guys so much. Have an awesome, awesome day. Bye.
Bye, guys.